What's up, guys? It's Matt here with Tanks Lawn Maintenance. It is currently 8:46 a.m. Wednesday morning, November the 12th, 2025th year of our Lord. I just pulled up to property number 1 today. I've only got 5 on the list, but I'm gonna try to do more than that. I'm gonna try to do 10 or 12 today. I didn't work yesterday. It was a little too cold for me to be out here yesterday. Coldest day of the year so far. It was 29 degrees, and I know some of you think 29 degrees ain't that bad, but I ain't built for 29 degrees, man. And I walked out the house yesterday morning and I said, oh man, this is too much. And it was windy too. So I just took the day off yesterday. And if I have to work Saturday, it is what it is, man. And a friend of mine told me there ain't no sense in getting sick out here this early in the fall and winter. So but anyway, it worked out perfect, man. I got a notification Monday letting me know that my part was ready to pick up at Harry's, the blower fan or the blower wheel, whatever you want to call it, for the walker. Went and picked it up and brought it home, and I just worked on that all day yesterday. It took me 5 hours to do, and which is strange. I thought it wouldn't take me but about 3, maybe 3.5 hours at the most. And I was being a little bit conservative there because I've never done it before, and I didn't know what to expect. So, but anyway, it wasn't that it was a lot to do. You know, it was kind of tedious a little bit, but you know, of course you had to take the deck off and you had to jack the machine up. You had to put 2 jack stands under it and get the whole thing off of the ground. Couldn't be no tires on the ground, and I had to get it about somewhere between 8 and 10 inches off of the ground. And but the worst part about it was when I got it back in, there's a belt tensioner up underneath it that it's the belt system that activates the blower, and that belt tensioner, you have to take it off so you can get the blower assembly in and out. And when I went to go put it back on, the spring on there's a plate that you bolt to the bottom underneath the blower assembly, and that plate the spring in that belt tensioner, it plays off of that plate on the bottom. That plate's about, I don't know, about 3/8 of an inch thick, and but that spring plays off of that, and it's a pretty thick spring. And the way I was going to do it, it's a spring, it's kind of shaped like, just say this part back here is the coiled up spring, and then it's got a part down here and a part up here, the ends of the spring, and this part up here's got a hook on it that hooks to the belt tensioner, and this part down here is just a straight spring, and it's the one that rests on that plate, and that plate is what keeps it tight. Well, it kept digging into the plate and gouging the plate when I would try to jack it up and bolt it in. So I grinded the paint off of it to hopefully it would be a little slicker and maybe move some more. And then I grinded the end of the spring a little bit to try to make it a little bit where it wasn't so sharp to dig into the plate, and none of that was working. And so the only thing that I could figure to do was to wrap a zip tie around it and tighten it up to kind of keep it compressed while I get it up in there and bolt the plate back on. And then once I get it up in there, get in there with some wire cutters and cut that zip tie. Well, that's what I did. All I had was small zip ties, the little small whatever brand it is that comes from Walmart. The little small zip ties, comes like 50 in a pack. And I used to have some rather large zip ties, but I can't find them anywhere. And I got a feeling I know where they are, but that's a different story for a different day. But anyway, the zip ties I had, they wasn't big enough, they wasn't strong enough. So, but anyway, it took me about an hour and a half, 2 hours just to get that one plate on because of that tensioner spring. And that was really the hardest part, man. But other than that, and even that wasn't bad. You know, it wasn't bad. And it was 5 hours of work that I did, but it was 5 hours of I'm just gonna say it was relaxing work, because I like working on stuff. I am mechanically inclined, and I can take just about anything apart and put it back together the way it's supposed to be and make it run right. You know what I mean? And you can too. believe it or not, you can too. All you got to do is have a little bit of common sense and be able to look at something, and if you ain't got a photographic memory, take pictures of it. That way you have it in your phone, and then when you get ready to do it again, if you can turn wrenches, you can fix anything, man. It's simple as that, as long as you can troubleshoot. Troubleshooting is the main issue with fixing anything that's tore up. But yeah, it wasn't bad. It took me 5 hours. Like I said, had to jack the whole thing up, had to take the deck off, which getting the deck back on was kind of cumbersome a little bit, and the only reason being is because it had never been taken off of the machine before, and so there was some paint there that kind of made it a tight fit, and it should be, you know, nothing that a little bit of oil and grease didn't solve. You know, it took me about 5 extra minutes than what it should have to get that belt back on. And guys, taking that belt on and off, that is a breeze. That is something very nice. That way, if you do ever decide to buy a bigger deck for your walker, swapping them decks out ain't gonna be nothing, man. It really ain't. And so, but yeah, know how to do it now. Next time it shouldn't take but about 3 hours. I am gonna go buy some zip ties and keep them in stock. And also, man, I'm gonna show you the blower whenever I get home. I'm gonna do a video on that blower. But I'm gonna tell you what, man, I said that I had hit a root, and some of that root got jammed up in there and bent the fins. And I think it was a little more to it than the root, man, because that root was rotten. I say rotten, you know, it wasn't rotten, but that root was about 3 inches in circumference or diameter, or it was about that big around. We'll just say that. And that shouldn't have done that kind of damage to that blower fan. So I'm seriously thinking that maybe there was some metal. And you know, I was talking to Buster Davis about it. He said it could have been a tie rod in the ground, something that they used to tie off to keep a tree level. And that makes sense. It could have been a tie rod, and that thing got sucked up in there and busted that or not busted, but bent that blower all to hell. But whatever it was, man, whatever it was that got sucked up in there, it knocked the mess out of that blower fan, and it didn't mangle it, but it bent one of those fins, and it also put a rather large dent in the blower wheel itself. But I'm gonna fix that wheel. That way I'll have one for backup in case this ever happens again. I actually think that I've got a buddy of mine that's a welder by trade. I'm gonna get him to get some 3-inch pipe for me. Some 3-inch pipe that's about I'm gonna get 2 pieces that's about 2.5 inches long, and I'm gonna make a T out of those 3-inch pipes. And that bottom part, I'm gonna cut a slit in it about that wide and about that deep. That way, if one of those fins get bent, I can stick it down inside of that blower chute and turn it to bend it back straight. And I did put it in my vise yesterday and kind of bend it a little bit, but I just don't have enough leverage, and I think that's something you really need to have some leverage on. So, because it is, I mean, it's solid steel. It's 1/4-inch steel plates that those fins are made out of, and the wheel itself is probably about, I don't know, probably 3/16, 1/8 of an inch to 3/16 of an inch thick, somewhere around in there. I mean, it shouldn't have bent like that, not with no piece of root. So, but anyway, got it taken care of, man. I got the walker on the trailer right now. That thing runs flawlessly right now. I used it yesterday when I got done just testing it out, seeing how it was doing, and used it to get all the leaves up in my front yard yesterday. And man, that thing runs like a scalded ape, and I'm so happy that I got my baby back, man. And but yeah, got that taken care of. And also, guys, if you're gonna jack a walker up like that, you'll see them. If you ever take the deck off of your machine, you'll see what I'm talking about. There's 2 points on the front of the mower that you can or on the front of the tractor that you can use as jack points. If you're gonna set your, and that's really the only place you can get a jack stand. So my recommendation is to either set a piece of cardboard on top of that jack stand, or to set a piece of cloth on top of that jack stand, because you're talking about metal on metal, and both of those pieces there's not much material touching each other right there. So get you some cardboard. That way, it can bite into each other, something that's going to keep it from slipping. Because that mower did fall off of the jack stands at one point yesterday. My son was helping me. He only helped me for like, I don't know, maybe 30 45 minutes. There was 2 or 3 bolts in there. I had to get him on one side and I got on the other, and had to get him to hold the wrench because I just simply couldn't reach it. And when I got done doing that, I told him, I said, step back from the mower for a second because I got to do something, and I got to put some torque on this thing, and I don't want it to slip off of the jack stands and fall on you. Well, lo and behold, sure enough, that thing slipped off the jack stands, and which was kind of scary because you're talking about a machine, without the deck on it. I'm gonna say that machine probably weighs 750 pounds, and that's a lot of weight to fall 8 to 10 inches and hit you. And I'm not gonna say it would have killed you. If you'd have been underneath it, yeah, it probably would have killed you. But I've had a transmission fall on my chest before and it didn't kill me. So, but yeah, it could do some damage, man. Definitely break a foot, break some bones, and could kill you. You never know. But if it hits you right. But yeah, man. Got that taken care of. I'm super excited about that. Got it on here today. I've only got 1 yard that I absolutely need it on. I'm probably going to use it on this yard, which I'm not sure yet. I'm going to walk the yard, make sure there ain't no no-see-ums out there before I do anything, because it is covered in leaf litter right now. But I may just go out here and mulch these leaves up. It's not a customer that gets their stuff bagged, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, man, it's a beautiful day, Bluebird Day. It's cool. It's 46 degrees right now. It's a little bit cooler than that down here in this bottom that I'm in, because there's a creek right beside it, and then it's awful shady down here too. So yeah, but hey, man, I've got to get on the ball and get some clothes. I really do. I gotta call Blue Ribbon Awards and get some shirts printed up. I'm gonna get several different kinds. I'm gonna get, my typical t-shirts with my logo on there, but I'm also gonna get some of those long sleeve fishing shirts that have hoods on the back. That way I can keep from getting poison ivy all over me, and keep from getting my ears burnt. And my arms don't really burn. My arms pretty much just turn brown, but my ears, boy, my ears, they take a beating. And I'm gonna use those, try those out, see how I like them. And I'm also gonna get some hoodies printed up too, man. I'm gonna get some hoodies. Probably gonna order 4 or 5 hoodies and go from there. It's probably gonna be about a $400 or $500 order, but we'll see. But anyway, yeah, man. Hope you guys are having an amazing week thus far. I'm gonna try as hard as I can to get everything done. That way I don't have to work Saturday. I'd like to go hunting Saturday, but if I gotta work, hey, gotta work. No big deal, right? And but look, hope y'all get out there and crush it today. Hope y'all stay warm and stay dry. And I'm gonna hop off here and get this day started, man. But look, till the next video, y'all keep cutting that grass and keep making that money. Holler at y'all. Bye.